Let's cross to our correspondent, Molana-Allen in Beirut. Lebanon's president said this new system will lead to, quote, 100% accurate representation, but that's only if the people understand it. What's reaction been to it thus far?
Yes, quite. So many people focusing on the preferential vote element of this, but there is an entirely new system for voting here, which practically could be very recognizable to those of us in the West, but here is utterly different from how they used to vote, when people could bring in their own ballots and vote as they liked. I've been standing in one of the polling rooms, and now you come, you present your ID 3 different times, you then go up, you're presented with the piece of paper that has the different lists. They're listed by colour. Then there are also photographs of the candidates, and it says their name and their sect. So a lot of information. Some people who have been voting are illiterate and are having to identify a family member who can come and read the paper for them. And it's also read out, and election observers from each of the parties can tick off people who voted. They go into the booth, they vote, they then put it inside an envelope, which goes in the box, and they then have to sign to verify that they have voted. The barcode from their ballot matches that list to ensure that everybody only has one vote. This is an extremely new system. Now, young voters I've been speaking to do seem to understand what's going on, but some of the older voters really are quite confused, and there's been a lot of explanation going on from the election workers. But the election workers themselves saying they're really happy that this system is now going to be verified across the board, and it should be much easier and faster to count the ballots when the election is finished.
You mentioned the young taking to it a little bit easier. Perhaps it's because it's their first time to cast a ballot. This in nearly a decade since the last parliamentary vote. And a sizable portion of the population now eligible to vote. Any idea about how or if they will vote?
Exactly. So the Ministry of the Interior here telling us 800,000 new voters who've never voted before. That's 20% of the electorate. Now, many people feel that they are going to vote liberally. Since 2015, with the garbage crisis, these civil society movements and independent candidates have risen to prominence, and they are counting on the youth vote. Many feel that they will vote for these newer candidates rather than the established political parties. However, lots of people outside liberal Beirut, in the north, the south, and the Bekaa Valley, saying that actually people there, young people, are more likely to vote with their families' allegiances to the traditional parties. And there was a report that came out last week from an independent Lebanese NGO that said while 76% of these new voters are saying that they are committed to coming and voting, only 7% think that their vote could actually make a difference. So while we might be seeing lots of excitement within Beirut and on Facebook and in areas where there's a lot of internet access and young people out on the streets, actually in a large proportion of the country which is more traditional, we're really unsure whether these young voters will go for the newer candidates or revert to the way their families have always voted.
All right, thank you, Molana-Allen, reporting from the capital.